Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Today is Monday, August 25th, 2025. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I got this out of my email. I was just, Jeffrey Robinson sent me something, right? What up, Jeffrey? No, you don't email me too much, okay? Email all you want. I just told you I got so many emails I can't read all of them. I don't even go to my email that much. Okay. Keep that in mind. No, you're not emailing me too much because I don't see all of them. Hold on, y'all. So I was reading the email that I got from Jeffrey Robinson when I seen one that just popped up. Let me go see what Jeff talking about. And then I saw one that was right before his that I overlooked. But because I was going to look at his, I saw this one. So I said, this, let me check this out. And the title of the email was, I work 3 jobs and barely make over $45,000 a year. 3 jobs just to make 45. It ain't funny, y'all. It ain't funny. I laugh. I'm not laughing at you, my man. Promise you, I'm not laughing at you when I just laugh. I'm laughing to keep from crying because we're only as strong as the weakest of us. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So we got people out here right now having to work 3 jobs to still be struggling. Think about that. I laughed to keep from crying. I wasn't laughing at you, but when you said you working 3 jobs just to make $45,000 a year, you working 3 jobs just to be broke. You working 3 jobs to still struggle. 3 goddamn jobs. Once upon a time, I've known throughout history, throughout my life, people that have worked 2 and 3 jobs. But back when they were doing that back in the day, they were doing that to come up. Hold on, y'all. It's nothing new. People been doing that forever. Working 2 and 3 jobs. But back in the day, when people did that, they had a goal they were trying to reach. They had something they were trying to accomplish. They were saving for a vacation, saving to buy a house. They were saving. They were making extra money when they were working 2 and 3 jobs. Once upon a time, 2 and 3 jobs was for extra money. Follow me. Working 2 and 3 jobs ain't nothing new. The circumstances surrounding the 2 and 3 jobs nowadays is new. You may have wanted to buy a new car, a new boat back in the day, like 20, 30 years ago, when you were working 2 or 3 jobs. You want a new boat, or you saving for your kids' college education, so forth and so on. So if you were working 2 or 3 jobs, you was doing it for that reason. It was to have extra. Nowadays, people are working 2 or 3 jobs just to get by. No extra. It's just not to sink. It's to survive. Nothing else. Because whether you got 1 job or 10 jobs, $45,000 a year nowadays in this country, I don't know about around the world. But if you have a family in America with real bills, you ain't living with your mama, like we said it before. You got a real family. Kids, what have you. Whether you're single or in a marriage relationship, whatever, you got a family. It don't matter whether you got 1 job paying you $45,000 a year or 10 jobs paying you $45,000 a year. $45,000 is $45,000, no matter how you get it, and it ain't no money nowadays. Unless you consider bologna sandwiches a gourmet meal. Unless you love candlelight in your house at night. You don't have to have the lights on. You don't mind burning candles every night. Unless you that guy. 45,000 nowadays with a family is pretty much poverty. I don't think they call it poverty, but if you're making that kind of money with a family, you know it's poverty. You can only cut so many corners. And with $45,000 a year with a family, you cutting corners. And this man, it taking him 3 jobs to make that. Now let me tell you, he broke everything down for me. I wrote it down about how he making that. He says he goes in from 7 to 3:30 as a forklift driver. He said he make $15 an hour, 40 hours a week. That's $600 gross. Now keep in mind, the $45,000 a year I'm talking about, that's gross. That ain't bring home. That's what he grossing. All right, keep that in mind now. He works from 7 to 3:30 as a forklift driver. He makes $15 an hour, 40 hours a week. That's $600 gross before taxes. Then he gets off at 3:30, goes home, relax, goes back in, do janitorial work at night, cleaning buildings, office buildings and shit, from 6 to 10. From 6 to 10. You get off at 3:30, go home, or whatever you do between 3:30 and 6, what is that, 3.5 hours that you got to eat or whatever, take another shower, whatever you want to do. And you got to go from 6 to 10 at night. And that's 20 hours a week. That's $12 an hour. He said make $12 an hour cleaning office buildings. And then he said on the weekends, he's a sports part, football and high school and recreation part, the recreation department, like park ball, pee-wee, midget, all that shit. He's a referee. He averages between $50 to $100 per game on Saturdays. So he says averages $300 a month doing refereeing throughout the month. Depending on whether it depends on what you're doing, high school, park ball, JV, varsity, all that. He said, but he averages $75 average times 4 weeks. He do it every weekend, whether it be basketball, football, whatever. He averaging $3,600 a year doing that, $300 a month average. That comes out to be $47,000 a year. 3 jobs. What kind of life is that? What quality of life is that? So when you hear people on these videos, when people are writing me, when people in the comment section saying they're tired of this shit, they don't want to be here no more, they hate life, they can't stand it, because you having to do this just to survive, just to get by. You ain't doing all that to go out and relax on a beach for a week in Acapulco or whatever they call them places. You ain't doing all that hard work to buy that big pretty car you've been wanting, to where it make the hard work. Man, satisfying. And you know, at some point in time, you can stop working like that once you reach your goal. No. You got to work like this for the rest of your life. Because it's getting worse. So back in the day, when people used to work like this, when they had a goal they were trying to reach, once they reach that goal, they can stop and go back to working their one job. They can let the other jobs go because whatever they were striving for, once they get it, they don't need to keep doing this. I'm burnt out, I'm tired and exhausted, I'm done. There's the new car I just worked for. There's the house I just worked to get the down payment for. There's whatever you was working for. My kids' college fund, there it is. They ain't got to do this no more. But nowadays, you're not doing it to get ahead. You're doing it to eat, to survive, to get by, not to live good, not to ball out. So now you can't stop. You don't have an end date unless it's death. That's why a lot of people say they want to check out. The only way to not do this now, unless you hit a come up, a lick, when you go to start making 6 figures or something, or death. Because as we move forward, as times get harder, the value of the dollar will decrease and decrease and decrease. To where now, you're already struggling making 45 to 47. 5 years from now, that's going to be even less than what it is now. It's gonna, you feel me? It's going to keep getting worse. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. She's a manager at McDonald's. And she works, I think she said early morning shift, to open up in the morning. And she was telling me about a manager from Burger King that when he get off, he got to come work there. He get off at night at Burger King and then be there at 3 o'clock in the morning at McDonald's, or 4 o'clock, whatever time they open. And she was telling me about a couple of nights where he been up 24 hours. He's a manager at Burger King, leave Burger King and go work at McDonald's. I don't know if that's cheating and you working for the competition. But anyway, we got to survive out here, baby. So I was like, damn. And damn again. In the words of Florida Evans, damn. I did 3 jobs to make $47,000 before taxes. No quality of life. You're not riding no big pretty cars. Probably not living in no big pretty house, because the average nowadays, just where I am in Mobile, where the cost of living is cheaper than the rest of the nation. You got 1 bedroom going now not in no upscale neighborhood. $1,300 a month. That's just rent. That doesn't include utilities. That ain't food. That ain't if you got a car note. That ain't child support. That ain't clothes, utilities, none of that. Just rent. And it's getting worse. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. It's a must that you learn how to work from sun up to sundown, 7 days a week, or you learn how to get by on the bare minimum, or less. The bare minimum or less. Because most of us are not going to be able to be making no 6 figures, no 150, 200, 300, 400 $1 million a year type shit. Not happening. I don't care how hard you work. This man working 3 goddamn jobs and still ain't hit 50. still can't break 50,000 with 3 jobs, working 6 days a week. Homeboy, you might need to throw Sunday in there. What you need rest for? We gotta eat. You only working 6 days a week, homeboy. That ain't enough. According to the man, according to the power that be, we need you to work 7 days a week. You ain't working but 6. You ain't trying hard enough. That's why you ain't making but 47. That's why you can't make 50, because you only work 6 days. Now, if you work 7 days, then you might be able to make 49 to 50. Woo! 50 still struggling. So if he go work 7 days a week somewhere, he finds something to do on Sunday, he might make another what? $50 a day, $70 a day on a Sunday. What you gonna make on a Sunday? What you gonna be doing on a Sunday? Lord help us. We need it. Get it, got it good. Bye.